And Jesus is just going to keep adding more fuel to the fire, to the point where we see in verse 66, which will come later this month. It says, after this, and this is in verse 66, many of his disciples turned back and no longer walked with him. They're going to come to a point where they're literally going to say, how can anyone just sit here and listen to this guy? This is insane. This is stupid. This goes against everything that we have ever learned. It is too extreme. It's too difficult. Everything that we've ever learned about God and about how he works and all of our traditions that were handed down to us by our fathers, all of our teachers who taught us, which if what you're saying is right, Jesus, that means all of them were wrong. And this is what we've been taught all of our lives. And I just won't sit here and listen to you tell me that my mama was wrong, right? I mean, that's what's going through their head. And that is not all that different than what goes through our head when we run up against stuff like this too. One of the reasons that we preach through the Bible the way that we do, verse by verse, going very, very slowly. I mean, what are we, 6 weeks in John chapter 6 now? And we're not done. But we go through it line upon line, precept upon precept, is because this method does not allow us to skip the difficult texts, right? We're forced to come to terms with everything that's written in the text. And I know there's a lot of churches out there. There's a lot of different ways to do this. A lot of churches choose to do kind of topical studies. But what inevitably ends up happening is you end up picking and choosing the same verses, the same stories, the same passages, your favorite things, and they miss out on all of this controversial stuff, okay? Now, let me clarify something. I do not love controversy, right? I don't relish preaching controversy. I know my family's looking at me going, really, right? I don't, and I know some of you are smirking, but I do love the Bible. I love the Bible, and I am committed to preaching all of it. As Paul said, the whole counsel of God. And I refuse to not talk about something if it's in the Bible just because it flies in the face of our traditions, or it flies in the face of our way of thinking, or our experiences, or our worldview, or our cultural ideology, or our political correctness, God forbid. In fact, the more a particular text goes against any of those things, the more important and necessary I feel it is to preach and teach and declare this is what the word of the Lord says.